Welcome to Creative Pages with Catherine. I'm Catherine, your host for CM Creative Crew Collaboration. I want to give a special thanks to Donna Watson from A Dash of Story for co-hosting this month's playlist with me. For our November challenge, the Creative Memories Creative Crew is celebrating by sharing the 3 tools we are most thankful for in our craft rooms. We call this the Harvesting Happy playlist. After watching my video, you can click on the link in the description box to watch the entire team showcase their essentials. You'll get tons of great tips, so be sure to watch them all. But first, I am going to show you my personal favorites. I've narrowed down my selections to 1 tool for precision, 1 tool for decorative power, and 1 tiny utility tool that saves me time every time I create. That's right, I'm talking about the zero centering ruler, the border maker system, and the Indispensable multi-purpose tool. Are you ready to see some of my quick tricks and tips for using these tools? Let's get to it. Let's start with why the zero centering ruler is one of my favorites for precision. It's a great small tool that solves a common scrapbooking problem, centering pieces. Our zero is right in the center. I'm going to show you a couple of examples. We also have our measurements running both vertically and horizontally on this ruler. So you can see we have a 0 in the center here, which is essentially we have a 12-inch piece of paper. Our 6, we know immediately, is right here in the middle. If we're trying to get a piece of paper directly in the middle and we want it's a 4-inch piece of paper, line it up at the 2s because you have a 4-inch piece, half of 4 is 2. So you're smack dab on the 2s. We also have a 0 here that will run through our entire ruler as well. And you can center some of our smaller elements as well. Many of you have seen me use my ruler to put pieces in 1 inch from the bottom of my page when I'm not eyeballing things, that is. But if I want to measure it, which I have been known to do, here's a 1/2 inch. You just line it up and run it right through your entire page so you have a nice surface to line up your paper with. How's about I pull out some samples? Y'all may recognize this layout from a previous virtual crop. I used my zero centering ruler to get my top paper centered on this layout. Essentially, I just looked and made sure I was lined up inside of the 4s on either side of my 0. And that's actually what helped me to get this done nice and tidy on my page. Here's another example where I did use my ruler for my placement of my stripes on this whole layout I did using our Called to Serve collection. I believe this one was one with our 101 sketches. I will do my best to link these in my description box, but I don't know if I'll be able to link them all. Most of these are on my channel somewhere, and if you really want to know, please leave a comment and I will do my best to find it if it isn't already linked. But this one is one I did a little bit ago. I also have this layout I did with our Painted Garden collection. Sorry about the little bit of a glare from the lights. I have this one a little bit darker because I have my photos on this page and these have a little bit of a glossy finish to them, so my lights were glaring a bit, but I used my ruler to help me place all of these Painted Garden pieces going behind my photos. I also did a companion card for this one, and I can see where I used my ruler for some of my placement. Maybe I didn't go all the way with it, but it gives you an idea of a perfect use for our ruler to get these pieces all lined up. And see, just another use for our ruler. And finally, here's a final one to show Let me do this a minute. And again, just making sure that I had my pieces framed out and nicely lined up on my card here that I did as a Christmas card on my channel. Kind of a fun one. Moving on to one of Creative Memories' signature tools, the Border Maker system. This creative tool is so versatile. I'm only going to be able to scratch the surface here when I talk about it with you today. When you purchase our Border Maker system, you get the Border Maker cartridge holder, which is also known as, I recently found out, the base. So this is where you place your Border Maker cartridges, and when you purchase the system, you get the Picket Fence, which is such a fun little punch. I'm going to show you a couple of samples of that coming up. You slide your Border Maker cartridge into your base. You can see how it holds it nicely. There's a button here on the back. This is how you release your cartridge. You push it, you kind of keep your finger underneath also to help move your cartridge out. And there it is. We also have our paper holder. This one I also found out recently is called the positioning guide. And you can see there's all kinds of notches on this. There's a little tray in the bottom. There's a magnet in the top. And with this, you go ahead and you pull on this gray tray. You bring it out from underneath. I'm going to put my cartridge back into my holder. You insert your paper into your holder here. Secure it with the magnet. Go ahead and lift it up. Push down on that tray. And then you can see your papers here. Go ahead and set it back down. We have notches on our punch. We also have a line here on the top that shows us where the center is. This top line above our Border Maker cartridge lines up with the notches on our Border Maker holder that you can see are a little more visible here now that we have the paper in it. You go ahead and you line up your notches and you punch. Go ahead and pull it out after you're done. We don't want our cartridge or our paper getting stuck. I know a lot of advisors that recommend starting in the middle so you don't have to punch completely in a straight line. You can mix it up. You can also mix and match some of your Border Maker styles as well to create a unique design. And that's all there is to it. We have our Picket Fence punched. This one is one of our Edge Border Maker cartridges. If you watch any of my shorts, you hear me talk about the different types of Border Maker cartridges, and I am going to show you all three of them right now. As I mentioned a moment ago, we have three styles of Border Maker cartridges. The first is our Edge style, which our Picket Fence was, but we also have our Notebooks Edge. This is one of the few where it actually says it in the name of the Border Maker cartridge. How you can tell they're Edge Border Maker cartridges is you have metal running along one edge of the punch itself. For our chain style Border Maker cartridges, here's an example using our Wispy Chain Border Maker cartridge. You can see the metal runs only through the center of the punch box. This is the top and the bottom. Don't have any metal connected there. And finally, we have what we call our Punch Out Border Maker cartridges. This banner is one style of our Punch Out Border Maker cartridges. And you can see the metal runs through the entire frame here. So you are punching out another little design as well. And we can also use the part that stays with the paper as well. Let's take a look at some samples. Here's an example of a card I did using one of our chain style border maker cartridges. You can easily take these and turn them into shapes as well. I also have two cards here that I've made with our Picket Fence border maker cartridge. So again, one of our edge style border makers. This one I did as a little boardwalk. This one I turned into a Christmas tree. I recently put this one together using our Geometric Gems chain border maker cartridge, where I cut the two parts of the punch apart to make this layout. And here's another one from a recent virtual crop using our Notebook Edge border maker cartridge that we just saw a moment ago. First we saw a chain, then we saw an edge one. Now here is a punch out. This one is our Bats and Stars border maker cartridge, showing that you can use what's left with the paper as well as the punch outs on a page. This one is another one from a recent virtual crop. Let me get that a little closer for you. And of course, you can also use them in a fun shaker card as well. Here's a layout I put together using our wispy chain, where I wove it in and through one of our strips of paper here. And I would almost bet I used my ruler to get these lined up just right so they would flow across the page nicely. And another one of our punch out. On this layout, I used the Ancient Key border maker cartridge to create a little bit of a design element on the outsides of my page. And here's a sample using our banner border maker punch that you saw a moment ago as well. This one uses the border maker cartridge three ways. So I punched the top and the bottom of the page, adding a strip behind it. I probably put this on an index sheet so that way it would hold together nicely. I also added this element from the punch outs where I cut it with my trimmer, so you could also see that design coming out. So you can see this is on top of the paper. This is in the paper. And I did not use any of the actual banners on this page, but if you'd like to know where all those banners went, I turned them into a sunflower. How's about that? All of my petals are banners, and then I added wispy chain and a couple of bumblebees to jazz up my card a little bit. What do y'all think? It's just so versatile. I love this tool. Finally, the small and valuable helper tool, the multi-purpose tool. If you were watching my channel when I lost mine, you probably knew this was going to make my top 3 list. Maybe it's the chef in me because I like to use it as a spatula a lot. You all have seen me put things a little bit wonky on my pages and you spatula it up with this end of it. But there's also a ton of other uses for this little tool. It can be used for scoring. I'm going to go ahead and do that for you here. Just adding a line to my picket fence to make it easy to fold it. So this is a quick tip. If you don't want to pull out your trimmer, just add a line with your multi-purpose tool, and there we go. My fence has some extra definition right away. Another way this tool is such a fantastic helper is it can show you when your album is getting too large. So with this colored portion of our multi-purpose tool, you can use it to measure your album thickness, because nobody wants an album that's too big, too awkward, or too heavy. It also is incredibly handy for helping to hold pieces in place that are smaller. So here, if I want to cut this piece in half, it's a small piece. I can use my multi-purpose tool to help me hold this piece in place on my trimmer so I get a nice even cut through my paper. The end comes in handy for paper curling, as you saw when I did these flowers on both my large and small layout. You can just, like you're curling a ribbon, take your thumb, take your paper, and rub your finger, and there you go. You have a really fun curled piece of paper to add extra dimension to one of your cards or pages. And of course, my attempt at the busted canvas became a busted card for all my crafting friends here. I see, I can't even put it down. I just love it so much. You want to hold on to it when you have it. I definitely don't want to lose mine again. Here's a layout with a whole lot of the little jewels on them. This little end tip is so handy with helping to place these little gems all over our pages. I have another page that'll show that as well. And on this recent layout, if I hadn't wanted to color in these hearts, I could have easily used the tip of my multi-purpose tool to help me pull that off my sheet. Let me show you. Here's an example of one of our border stickers that has a lot of little tiny holes in the center of a circle. I want to show you how you can take your multi-purpose tool. It helps you lift at the start. Go ahead and just run your tool through it as you're lifting, and all those little circles that you don't want to sit there having to punch out later stay on your paper. Let's see if I can show this where you can see those have all come out from the center of the sticker. It stayed on the paper, and my sticker is ready to use, and I don't have to go back and try to individually pop them all out. Now, multi-purpose tool will help you with that too, but hey, why not do it the easy way? As you're pulling the sticker off the sheet, leave them on the sheet, and then that way you don't have to deal with that later. And finally, a more recent example from one of our Creative Memories virtual crops. All of these enameled elements, I used the multi-purpose tool to help me get them with the placement. And I probably also used my zero centering ruler. Each one of these tools has been so invaluable to me through the years, through so many layouts and cards. I truly love all three. It was hard picking just three for this playlist, but you know what? Go check out and see what the other Creative Memories advisors, part of my CM creative crew, have to share as well, because I know they are going to surprise you with their uses for some of their favorite tools as well. Please subscribe and come back and see what I am up to again next month, both with the CM Creative Crew as well as on my channel. I will see you all next time.